And so I'm not offering a simple phrase to get you from point A to point malaise. Although it hasn't been done or said many times, many ways, we're still waiting for Pulse Chain to be great. Anyway, nobody cares. What's going on, y'all? Well, what's happening? I don't know. Who has? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Who in their right mind would want to troll if you smashing cheeks? Who's doing that? Who's doing that? Who in their right mind would have time and would care about trolling anything on the internet if you busting cheeks? Come on, man. That's me. I mean, like, who cares? If you know what I'm saying? You handling your business, you living life is lifing, and you getting, twisted up and somebody twisting you, you twisting somebody up. Who got time to expend energy trolling on the internet? But guess what you find here? Guess what you find, especially on the internet, where you can become anything you very well want to be. Dr. Moore, I see you. Guess what you find here? You could just troll to your heart's content. Find something to do. Find something productive to do it yourself, right? Exercise. Like instead of talking about, you know, making the world a better place, just be better while you're making the world a better place. So while you're helping to make the world be a better person. Do better things with yourself. Think better. Exist better. It starts with you. And in this crypto landscape, is no different. Why shouldn't it start with the person? Like, we're at a stage right now where I don't know who's leading who. Can you imagine a situation where you have a headless body that's operating, fully operating? Does that even exist? Maybe it does in the animal kingdom, right? With reptiles. I don't know if you can decapitate a snake and the body will still slither and live on, right? It doesn't make sense. Maybe it does in the animal kingdom. I don't know. 'Cause I just, some people even think humans are still, evolved from animals. Big Bang Theory. We evolved from primates, right? Monkeys. Well, you're looking at this crypto community, shantytown, if you will, where a body of people are existing practically without a head because the head is going somewhere else. The head is wayward. The head is wayward. I've never seen anything like it before in natural life. Like the head of the operation has lost the plot. This is where people are not connecting. This is where the signals get lost between who you're supposed to be representing and who supports you, where you're not really aligning with one another. There's a disconnect. There's an absolute disconnect in Pulse Chain. Sorry, not sorry. Complete disconnect. You have people who are dealing with cognitive dissonance. You have people who are dealing with cognitive dissonance, and then you have others who go against the grain. And then you have people in between. You have people who started in the beginning, who basically was consistent the whole time, consistent by supporting the system, believing in the system, participating in the system, promoting the system, speaking about it, promoting it. How you doing? Good, and you? Good. And I tell you, then you have another group of people who have been the extreme opposite. Then you have everybody in between. And everyone in this soup, in this bowl, in this pot, whatever gumbo you want to call it, right? Some type of chef has been cooking everything up. No, because, the people are the ingredients. We're getting cooked. Gladly, you just jumped in the gumbo and said, yeah, I believe in this gumbo. I believe my contributions will make a good impact, will help this gumbo, this soup, this pot of a stew, this porridge taste better. Because, the chef got this. The chef is in control, but it's supposed to be decentralized. It's supposed to be decentralized. So you can't have one chef and call it decentral. Yeah, that's central. So what do you mean? Oh no. But it's decentralized soup? Is it decentralized meal? None of it makes sense, people. This is where we are. None of it makes sense. None of it. I don't care how people try to justify it. It's been reduced to a thing where people cannot understand the messaging that's coming from the founder, to the point where they don't understand it so much that they'll just leave it at, oh no, this guy's joking. He's trolling the internet. He's trolling people. Then you have some supporters believe, they say, oh, you're falling for his tricks. Look at the people, they just get so riled up when the founder issues these weird tweets. They can't even tell that he's making jokes. How do you really know that? That's your coping mechanism, your defense mechanism for you to deal with the irrational, absolutely bizarre messaging that's coming from this founder. So in your way to alleviate yourself of any discomfort, you just chalk it up to him trolling. No, there's people that have done that already. It's on this, they just make excuses for this guy, back to back excuses. Back to back excuses. If you are living your life, right? You're experiencing life, you're exploring life, you have things to do. For example, if you had something to do today, outside of being in a Faraday cage, would you not be completely focused on doing other things, except you're not, because you're on the internet begging for relevance. You're literally begging for attention. And that's supposed to be him trolling. No, it's him failing. It's not about trolling. You're failing and you're missing the mark again, and it's almost like a thing of a certain type of breaking down that's taking place, a form of like, I don't even know if he's like mentally breaking down or going through some type of something dark, spiraling downward. I don't know. Because even his detractors and people who have basically been more critical than me for years, who've actually became rich using his coin and have since defected and continuously sell his coin after his coin enriched their lives. They continuously and have continued to hate on the man ferociously. I'm talking about ferociously. When they even talk about and highlight hypocrisy, it makes me feel bad because, damn, even the hater can see the hypocrisy. Ooh, from your founder. It makes me feel bad because I don't want to be lumped with that. I don't want to be attached to somebody who got rich off Hex and became a hater and now are identifying hypocrisy and RH's behavior. I don't want to be lumped up with that, but guess what? The truth doesn't discriminate. Doesn't matter where it's coming from. It's still coming from in one form. You can lie a million different ways, but the truth comes in one form. Doesn't matter where the origin is. It's just there. And so this is where we are. This is where we're at. This is where we're at, folks. Folks are, oh, you crying, you're moaning. Shout out to the chat. You're complaining. No, no, none of the above. None of the above. Because what's happening here, if there were no observations being made, and if there were no critiques offered countering the behaviors that are being witnessed on the internet, then this thing would be the only type of disgusting echo chamber, like maximum level cult brainwashing situation, true to form, but it's not that. That's why I decide to turn on a device and speak sometimes about the stuff that's going on here, not because I want to create drama for the sake of creating drama. No, I want to chronicle. I want to actually document. I want to actually add some information that counters the bizarre behavior by speaking about these things that make no sense, especially when the message has changed 180 degrees. It went from hot to cold. It just changed up. The messaging just changed up altogether. After heralding, after championing, after delivering consistent messaging or supporting or promoting all this message to DeFi, all this message from the founder, all this stuff, And for him to do a 180-degree turn, you think that's easy? When many people have been planning in their minds to see maximum gains that crypto can afford people based on these principles that we thought we were championing and supporting and advocating for, when that gets trampled over by the same founder that espoused and preached all this good crypto talk and he changes it up, what do you think type of signal that sends? And I tell you, this is why a lot of times I would say things like, yo, people don't care, man. Who cares? Because folks really behave like they don't care. And I say that often is because I do care. I care to even mention how people are careless. That's how much I care. I care to the point where I'm doing it. I haven't gotten a red cent from anything crypto related as far as like for talking about this thing for years, 55, 55. That's not even something that's celebrated anymore. And I didn't do that for this. I did it because I really cared about, discovering that something that could possibly really work. It's just, this could really, really work. Actually went to meetups, shook hands with people, some of your favorites, brought family to meet these people, all that. I got the t-shirts, I got the pens, magnets, right? Got to hobnob with some of y'all, took pictures and all that. Yeah, yeah, all that. Thinking, okay, this there's some legs to this right here. Could be something. Let's see. And look forward to this, like something that I thought was supposed to be a bright future. And all of a sudden it turned not so bright. And it's one thing if the founder didn't contribute to the dark, dreary outlook of how things look on this ecosystem. It's one thing if he didn't add to it. But the fact that he's done a great deal of things like you and would tell you he's done a bunch of stuff that make you ask questions and make you realize it causes you to second guess what you've done, what you've believed in, what you've heard from him. You now have to second guess because if you don't and you want to drink the Kool-Aid is because you're suffering from cognitive dissonance. You want to remain in a state of denial because it hurts too much. And I understand that. But guess what? At some point you got to wake up and realize something is awry, something is not working, something is flawed, something is off. And it's more than just about talking. It's more than just about talking. Completely different. You know, I remember when I was making content years ago talking about all these things when we were in the sacrifice phases. And when Hex reaches 10,000 X gains, the founder would said that, Hex dipped many times. Within 623 days, Hex maybe dipped an average of 80%, where people could have sold on a double 13 different times, something like that. 13 different times, like serious dips, right? And the thing still managed to reach 10,000X, right? And so I used to say, well, To me, that means you can't achieve maximum gains without experiencing some form of discomfort by way of maximum pain. There's no way you can think that you're going to see 10,000x gains without being tested along the way. There's no way. And so I took that and I applied it to this situation with Pulse X, Pulse Chain, and like everybody looking forward to these gains because that was a marketing gimmick that grabbed many people's attention. It really did 10,000. It really reached 10,000. So, okay, if that's the case, why wouldn't anybody want to experience that too? So guess what? It caught the attention of many people. And then now you have an opportunity to come in at a ground zero and a layer one ground zero and a DEX ground zero. Oh, come on, man. It sounds like this guy who's charismatic, the founder, charismatic, knowledgeable, got a sense of humor. You watching him teach for free. You watching him engage in heated debates and dialogue. You can listen to this man talk because he's giving you nuggets of information that you could apply to crypto and quote unquote succeed, quote unquote not get wrecked. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you feel like, oh, I'm secure, I'm on board? Yeah, this is it, man. No middleman, no middleman. This is no middleman gang. No middleman gang. Not realizing that the biggest middleman on Pulse Chain is him. Like that's like there's things like that, right? Folks have to understand. Let me give you, and for people who just don't understand what I just said right there, who just can't seem to come to terms with that, it's simple. It's simple. If you haven't noticed, if you've been around and you haven't noticed, you've been around this ecosystem a couple years. I'll give you a year to 2 years. If you haven't noticed, I'm gonna share something with you. Everybody who's familiar with this system, everyone who's invested, right, in Pulse Chain is waiting for him to pump his market. Whether you want to accept that or not, that's the example when I say he's the biggest middleman in this whole situation, Pulse Chain related, this whole entire operation. You're dealing with nothing but you'll say no middleman, but you're the biggest middleman in your operation. Oh, but he's trolling. This is what some of y'all would say. If you live in your life and you're doing great and you bulletproof and you safe and you do, what work are you really doing? You must not have nothing to do to be on the internet posting online. Like you're not busy. You're not really busy. You're already rich. So what idea, what goals are you really reaching? When you know you issue tweets and that manipulates markets. It manipulates your own market when you issue your own tweets. You piss people off, you get people excited, you get people to feel mixed feelings, all in between. And that directly translates to people buying, people dumping, people selling. because this is the power he's engendered. This is the power that the market has lent him. And I'm not a hater as far as like I can't knock the hustle. I only knock the hustle actually. Yeah, I can knock the hustle. I knock the hustle if the inconsistency and the hypocrisy brings loss to people who've just held on strong. Yeah, that's when I knock the hustle because you're misusing a gift that you were born with. You understand what that is? When I say a gift that you were born with, because you can't learn what you have in school, you just have it. There's certain talents you have, certain skills, certain proclivity, right? You didn't develop that. No one gave that to you. You have that innately. It's within your spirit, it's within your DNA, it's within your makeup. It's a gift. And when you squander that, you misuse it, right? What does that do? What does that offer you? How can you, in good faith, say you're helping to make the world a better place? You should be a model, an example of inspiration, absolute revolution. You should model that. You should exemplify that, RH, because this is the lane you've chosen to walk. You're going against a behemoth, a financial legacy, centuries old behemoth of a monetary system, central banking system, government systems that have existed long before, long before all of us were alive. You've chosen to take control of a situation, model it in a way that you saw fit to go against the status quo that the majority of people who live in a capitalist society are oppressed by. By example, showing people how to really revolt, really living through what a revolution is supposed to be. And somehow, some way, throughout this whole makeup and through this whole experience, while people are trying to take the good, they're trying to take the good and draw the good from this person and the work that he's done. He's muddying up his efforts. He's destroying with his feet what he created with his mind and hands. How does that work? You stepping on the work that you created, bro, to try to make a million millionaires. Is that the goal? Well, have at it, because it's something you chose to do, and you're using your gifts to allow that to happen. But you fumbling and stumbling and bumbling the ball along the way. Like, who do you have in your corner? Dude got no friends. I keep saying that. Y'all don't believe me. Y'all don't believe me. It doesn't matter if you believe me or not. I don't care. You listen to an old man talk. It doesn't matter what I think. I'll just speak my mind. I'll talk about what I think. He don't have any people he can trust around. He could barely trust himself. It's fine to say, listen, let me tell you something. Because this is just me. I'm too old to play games and pretend and do all this other stuff, right? Like, the internet is a special place. The internet is a place where you can become anything you want to be. In other words, you could create an illusion of who you are. You can lie to your heart's content about everything and anything that you want, right? I'm a man of a certain age. I don't care to lie. I haven't lied about shit that I've done recording on the internet for the past 8+ years. I haven't lied about a damn thing because I don't have the interest to do that. And I don't want to put that energy out there because I firmly believe in what you put out, you receive. Hmm? If my mindset was to create stories, then I would let you know up front, listen, this is all fiction. This is all make believe. This is my angle. This is what I'm bringing. Stuff that has nothing to do with reality or relevance whatsoever. Do not take anything I'm saying seriously. Right? In a sense where, especially if it's dealing with money, because we use that as a ploy to protect ourselves from getting sued and getting in problems and having, these boogie alphabet agencies chase us and lock us up and give us problems and penalties and right, take our freedoms away from us. That's why we say things like not financial advice and all this other crazy stuff. But I'm a man of a certain age. When I'm talking, I want to be clear. I want to be clear with what I'm saying. Because I feel like that's something that you never know who's listening, who could be impacted by your messaging and how it can impact somebody else and their lives. I don't want to be a proponent for someone's destruction. I don't want to be a proponent for someone losing something, feeling pain, right? But that's me. So I do. So it's easy to say you could be one person online and in real life you're somebody else. That's something that also you're one person online and in the real world you're somebody else. I get it. You're an actor. You're acting. You're a performer. You're performing. You're pretending. Right? What you're displaying is not the real you. It's just an aspect of you. You're presenting falsehood. You're presenting lies. That doesn't really engender trust. Right? Does that what that's supposed to make somebody, an investor, feel comfortable, more comfortable that you're one way online and in real life you're just somebody else, real down to earth? That don't work. Split personality. I don't need that drama because my money is not split in its personality. It comes one way, and I like to receive it one way. My money doesn't suffer from personality disorders. You understand? These people out here are out of their rabbit ass minds, like from RH down to everybody else. And I just say that with a certain uh, 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 sentiment, not to really denigrate or tear down. It's just a thing of like, damn, a lot of broken people out here, man. If you're not well, seek help, seek healing, take care of yourself, like so for real, because you mess around and get caught up in something that you didn't know how you got there by listening and believing in something you found out on the internet. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely nonsensical. This is super weird. Like I'm at the point where I have to leave the same way I created years long worth of content supporting the system, supporting the ecosystem, supporting the experience, documenting and chronicling the experience of what we've been through, the ups and downs, the in between the whole time for years. I also have to document this. Like, man, what is this? You got to process insanity. I can't do it. I can't process insanity. The dude begging Vitalik for Ethereum to like have some kind of mail order. What's wrong with this guy, yo? He's like so stuck on this mail order thing. Like People don't care enough. Folks really don't care. I don't know where he's like what he's doing. People don't care about some mail order. It's effective. Okay. I get the direct marketing. I get all of that. But you keep emphasizing it as if all these other blockchains have been successful issuing postcards. Name one other blockchain or coin or whatever that have done that. And this is another thing I gotta say, right? This is another thing I have to say. Shout out to the people in the chat. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Cookie the Chocolate said, think our rich gone mad. I I don't blame you for thinking that way. It's crossed my mind many times. But there's one thing I have to say though, right? Like, I've seen my fair share of I've been around different communities in cryptocurrency, right? You know, you have founders in other blockchains, founders of other operations, other coins, other systems that would they would kill to have half of the type of marketing support and push and creativity and resilience and tenacity, right? And imagination that Richard Hart's community has. They would kill to have a quarter of that. And this dude keeps on with this no expectations. You want to see something done, you do it. He doesn't work for nobody, but wants you to do some mailings to the richest locations in the world. He wants you to bring more eyes, but he don't work for nobody, but wants you to work, do all this stuff. Meanwhile, you are working. You're begging a man. You could call it trolling. You could call it making fun. You could call it having a good time, but you're begging another human being. Doesn't matter how maybe you think it makes you look, but you're begging for attention. You're begging for recognition. You're begging somebody because it seemed like if Ethereum doesn't do well this cycle, how well do you think Pulse Chain will do? You created a system where you're in something for glory. You're chasing some kind of glory, but you chase some kind of glory behind somebody else. And I get it. There's nothing new under the sun. But you're chasing glory behind Vitalik, like you're begging him. You got a group, a community that's been so organically like polarizing. Like this community is just like the marketing that I've even talked about, the 5 years worth of marketing that this community has done, right? The internet presence that this community has cultivated. Other founders would kill to have half that amount of power within their own blockchain communities. This guy got all this, and you stepping on the work with hypocrisy, and would claim that people are criticizing him, because this is what he would say, and he said this in the past. The people who criticize him and his haters want to act like and believe that they're better than him. At one point, I bought into that because I thought that's what some of these sacrifice project heads were doing. The people who launched these sacrifices and were talking shit about Richard, you could believe and say, okay, yeah, they want you to believe that they can do something better than RH. They want you to believe that they figured it out better than him. And for a second, I believed that. That's what that was. And it could very well be some truth in that still. But something else I realized. I'm like, oh, nah, this guy doesn't really take a full accountability for the good that he does and the stuff that he does that falls short, that needs improvement, the mistakes, the errors. How we really learn is from our mistakes. How we really grow is from learning from the lessons that are presented from our errors. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. And then it baffles me when this guy would talk about he's raised 27 million for charity. This is how great of a person he is. He's given free self-help books online. Let me tell you something. Those actions in itself are noble. 100%. 100%. They are. But since then, since you've raised 27 million, since you've issued free self-help online books and stuff like that, since you've launched post, and this is the thing, the self-help book, okay, I give you, like, it's like, okay, cool. I don't even want to get into all that, right? The self-help and all that and blah blah blah, how it was created. I don't want to get into that because there's a difference between talking about how you did the self-help, which could have been all you, versus your crowdfunding raising, which wasn't all you, because you needed people to believe in you. Where did the money come from? You would never say that you put in money and gave to charity. You would never say that. You would say that you raised it, but off the backs of your believers. You see? Off the sweat and brow and the hope and the faith of your believers. You're not being honest. You're not being genuine. You're being emphatically disingenuous. I raised $27 million with long health, long life research. And then it's different because, and it's bizarre there too, because how is that research undergoing? No one ever really thinks and talks about the extra. Because yeah, we have Pulse Chain, we have Pulse X, sure. People sacrifice for that. Did you put your money up out of your pocket to make these things happen? By yourself? You don't give credit to your supporters. You don't give credit to people who helped you be relevant. Because if people didn't believe in his words, if people, the market didn't rally behind his messaging before Hex, during Hex, and now, he would be nobody. Like, what are we talking about? No one would know. No one would know. No one be any the wiser. No one would know. And no, don't know. Don't believe. You had a group of people that believed in what you're saying, believed in your messaging, believed, and put the money where their mouth is. They put skin in the game to support the situation. And then you, supreme middleman of all middlemen in your operation, allegedly, did what you needed to do to help the coin reach 10,000x gains. But don't act like it was all your effort alone that got you 27 million. To go to something that was like being headed by a gentleman named Aubrey. And it's crazy because I know, that like Aubrey's, people who name Aubrey's have been taking some serious L's recently. Serious L's. I don't know what that's about. Your name Aubrey, man, you might need prayer. You've been taking some serious L's if your name is Aubrey. But the whole thing with Sen's Foundation, how's that? How's the charity going? What happened? Because I heard there's been some misappropriation of funds to this thing that you raise all this money for, and this, that, and that. And this, like, you just keep like, you said you volunteered for these people before. That's how you knew of them. And what they were doing was just like great work. Huh? You can't even tell when you dancing with the devil or not. You don't even know. I'm not saying that's what this gentleman for the, this Aubrey guy was, but like, this dude don't know how to read people very well. It doesn't seem like it. Aubrey could have the best intentions, but somewhere in his operations, whatever, they said the bag got fumbled. The $27 million bag, it got fumbled. I'm not doing. You do your research and go find out what that's about. Now people are just waiting. They're waiting for the SEC case to be dropped, as if folks just want to grab onto anything. They want to basically grab on to anything, and I don't blame them, because you don't have much left of anything to grab on. Don't look at Twitter to grab onto anything, especially from your man. Don't do that, because he's liable right now. Right now, the way the sentiment is, he's liable to put a post up of how great he is. You're gonna see another post of, oh guys, I'm so good. These people hate me so much, but they don't know how good I am. They act like they could do something better than me. I raised 27 million for charity. That's how good I look at the price of Hex. Oh, look at the post chain post. He'll put a snapshot and show you the prices right now. And some people will say that's trolling. He's losing control, bro. The only control he got is a control he kind of designed for himself to have. Outside of that, there's no control. People just waiting to hit a certain number and leave. That's what's real. Folks are waiting to hit a certain number and leave. And sure, you could say that's with any market. Yes, that is with any market. And that is definitely within this pulse chain scenario. They're waiting to hit a number and make things happen. Some people can't wait. Some people just go. Some people can wait. A person myself, I have no choice but to wait years, because I bought into this whole staking stuff y'all kept talking about. And then I had to end up talking about it, making music and songs about it, all kinds of weird stuff I did supporting that. So I'm stuck. Years, 10 plus years, stuck. So imagine, I wouldn't want to be in dude's shoes, listening to someone like myself telling him about himself for another 10 years. You understand? Like, And it's not just me speaking this way. I speak this way, my way, because it's me talking. Original, right? Like just me. Like, yeah. But there's other people that got the same type of feelings and thoughts. He put himself in a certain trick bag. He put himself in a magical trick bag. All right. As a kid, I used to see the magician walk around with this black box with wheels. And the black box, it stopped. Everybody looking. He opens up the latch of the black box and he pulls out some hat. And then out of the hat, spring a white dove. Put the dove back in the hat, put some cloth on top of it. Boom, boom, boom. Then boom, he takes out a handful of big ass bouquet of flowers and all this stuff. Trick bag, magicians. That's what this dude reminds me of. Except he got stuck in his own trick bag. And he's doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, reinforcing being wrong and strong. Because what else you got? What else you got, bro? Like Eric Wall seems like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn. The biggest troll that was in the community years back was, Eric Wall. He was always like the contrarian view, super contrarian view, you know, super contrarian view. And he's looking like a saint compared to some of the shit I've been saying about Richard. No, because it's unnerving, right? Like it's just like, yo, you wilding, son. Like you're not being real. You're not being real. And maybe you don't want to be real on the internet. But it's felt because we believe in some kind of blockchain, intangible situation, this intangible letter that's made up of numbers and letters. We believe in that to be real. And for you not to be in balance and as truthful and transparent, it hurts the system. It hurts people to believe in you. Like this is what it is. It's not about crying. It's about being an adult, being mature. It's about understanding what you're dealing with, decoding nonsense, huh? Discerning between truth and imposter. That's what this is about, bruh. This is not gonna. This is not gonna. This we better see. We better see what we deserve to see. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We better see what we deserve to see. So they could say whatever they want. Like a lot of these people, they're quick to talk about why don't you sell? Why don't you sell? There is no way that a person like myself is selling. Last I checked, you needed when you sacrificed, right? It was 10,000 points per dollar. Since this thing launched, because I didn't sacrifice after that. I didn't sacrifice after the 15 days. I didn't, continue to like so a lot of people just they were going in 6 months after. 2022 came in and they were just buying and sacrificing points, like getting like worse rates, but that what we thought was bad rates. But once this chain launched, this thing has been under sacrifice ever since. Come on, bro. What you selling? You selling for a L? You selling for a loss? You lost sacrificing because it's just a loss. Right now, it's a L. You sacrifice, you lost. Right? Holding on. If you were just holding on to this whole thing and you just double and tripling back, consistently buying DCing, you just buying into a vacuum, hoping that something turns. But you're pouring money in a situation that's not recovering, hasn't recovered yet. So you're losing. Dismiss the cognitive dissonance. You're losing. So on top of that, while you're losing, these people are trying to encourage you to capitulate, meaning to sell while you're losing. So you're losing double, triple over. Like, come on, bro. There's no time for that. There's no time for that. No one has time for that unless you over leveraged. Then, who am I to judge? If you overextended because you believe so, and, people did. People have. You're still dealing with human beings. You're still dealing with people who have bills to pay. You're still dealing with people who have real lives to live. Not be on the Twitter talking about begging people and talk about how you the best thing in crypto and this is what you do and how people are stupid for sucking middleman D, but you want everybody to suck your middleman D. How that work? Like that? How that work? Hmm? Makes no sense. How you doing? it makes no sense. You too. You too. How's that work? How's that work? I'll tell you what, it doesn't work. It's not work. Hasn't been working. It's not working now. We're talking about, oh, y'all love to glaze middlemen D. Love to glaze middlemen D. And you're the biggest middleman in your own operation. Like, these times right here, define for me who this founder is. Like who he is, like really. Who he is, like really. On a level where, as far as like, if you want to say this is personality on the internet or whatever is different than him in real life, that's some nice fluffy talk to me. That if you can't be real and you don't claim to be an actor, you don't claim to be some kind of entertainer, because that could give you a reason to be somebody else online. You're trying to grab attention and this, that. One person said on the timeline today about, oh, he went from outrage marketing to like something like rage, not rage marketing, but trying to hook, line, and sinker, like rage baiting. This is what you're doing. You're supposed to be rich in your mid 40s. You're rich, and this is what you decide to do. Rage bait. And what does that do for your operation? You're bored. You have nothing to do. That's the energy you come up with. That's the best you could do today. You go from outrage mode, you're like a bored child. You have nothing to do. Like I said, like if you really like you live in life, you're doing what you have to do, you smashing some buns, huh? You rubbing up, you glazing some cheeks. Why would you be interested in trolling? Huh? You got other things to do. You got to build your energy back and think about the greatest things that and how sweet life can be. But no, you're thinking about, oh, let me rage bait. And then for a minion, for somebody who to even describe it like rage baiting, it's like it's just too much going on. Right? It's just too much going on. Think about yourselves. Think about yourself. Imagine you in your mid 40s and you an alleged billionaire. And you wake up today and all you decide to do is troll it. You have nothing to do. You're doing nothing. You have nothing to do. You're doing nothing. Because that's the best you can do. And you talk about Giving Tree. Giving Tree, oh, I gave enough. I gave a free book. Huh? You raised 27 million. What more do you want? You describe your thing as Nobel Peace Prize worthy. Let me tell you something, bro. Sometimes I have to question like certain people, like what I don't know, man. You know, like for me, it would hold a lot more weight. And I've learned this just growing up. I've learned this. Certain things that we do, when a group of people can identify you in a way to sort of like describe either who you are based off of the work that you've done, based off of your personality, right? Based off of even things that you say, things you've written, basically your work. If a group of people can acknowledge you in a certain way and say, you know what you created, sir, has been, this redefines what we understand and know and what we've been using. It changes the game to a level where this thing right here has never been seen before. And we think you should be granted a Nobel Peace Prize. If it did not come from the people, you finish the statement. I'll let you finish it. If it didn't come from the people, then what are we talking about? You're gonna beat your chest and say, "Oh, you know, I got the best thing, best thing, best thing." That's all you're doing is beating your chest, and your chest would be inflated even more. And I would actually help. I would actually help understand the chest being beaten if all of these things were translated into our MetaMask, our Rabby, our cold wallets. Huh? If we saw maximum glorious gains, hell yeah. Oh yeah, Nobel Peace Prize. Dude right there, yeah, he got it. Nobel Peace Prize worthy. Absolutely. No questions about, hell yeah. But it's not that right now. And people begging SEC to drop your case. That's what it is right now. Folks begging SEC or Doge to drop SEC, right? To put the clamp down, Doge to go sick SEC to go bark at them, bark at it. The Department of Government Efficiency, yeah, the raging bulldog to go bark at as it shut it down. That's what folks are doing. They're not caring about Nobel Peace Prize Hex, but you called yourself all doing all this thing. Aggrandizement. Put yourself on a pedestal, because who else is gonna do it? Because your disposition is questionable, damn near shitty. It's been nothing but meager results, bro. Meager results. Meager results. People putting in effort, people putting in work, people putting in time, people putting in energy, years after years after years. And we're looking at the situation like, oh, come on, man. I'm waiting for, because see, I'm a man of spirit, right? And I'm waiting for God to intervene at this point. Seriously, I'm waiting for the hand of the Creator to come down and bring absolute 100% effects on this whole situation right here, man, because none of it makes sense. You live in life. You need to be, you live in life. You're not, what I'm saying, squeezing some shoulders, some thighs, some mammaries, some mammary glands. You know what I'm saying? Some voluptuous butt cheeks. Who got time for the trolling? Because you're not smashing. You're not doing that. You're not even going out there really exploring life to look for it. You're not. You're not behaving like you are. You're moving like a cornball. Nobody cares about your riches and all that. Nobody cares. Nobody cared. Nobody cares. Nothing. Nobody cares. People are just like, hey, when can I get mine? Since you help, because that's how people are. People got to survive. It's called self-preservation. And you showing people like you really like disconnected. You wake up on a weekday. You wake up on a weekday. You think about another male founder. You thinking about another male founder. That's what's on your mind. And then you want to equate things to people who believe in middlemen and they sucking off middlemen D. That's your messaging of the day. Meanwhile, you're the biggest middleman Red Bull can in your operation. You're the largest. You're the number one middleman. Trying to act like you're not the middleman. How corny can we be? And we buy into this. We bought into it. And we've bought into it. And this is it. This is what we decided to get, those of us who decided to participate. This is what we decided to be a part of. So let it bring the glorious gains. Let it all bring the glorious gains. I'm waiting. This dude don't know what he did, y'all. Like I'm telling you, this is bigger than Nino Brown, man. Huh? It's bigger than Denzel in Training Day. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than all that. You got time. You trying to live a good life. You trying to go outside, exist. You trying to experience. You trying to explore, exist, experience, and explore the real X's, not Pulse X, not Zen, not these X's, crypto X. We talk about real life, tangible, pragmatic living X's. Exist, explore, experience. These people on the internet try to make you believe something intangible, some type of cryptographic formulaic intangible code has more value than you existing, exploring, and experiencing. If you were doing those three things, I guarantee you, almost damn near guarantee you, you wouldn't be thinking about tweeting about another male founder and dissing people who got into Bybit. Because while you're dissing people getting into Bybit, telling them that they suck middleman D, how are you bringing more eyes to your operation? You're so backwards. You're not consistent. Someone needs to pull his coat. Like I saw somebody even say when he put the stream out, when someone said something about when Nuclear Herbs, I mentioned it yesterday. Nuclear Herbs just said RH is one of the most disrespected people on this planet. I agreed. The context was Nuclear Herbs was making a comment about how these gentlemen, these other two guys, raised $25 million to help the survivors for the hurricane crisis that took place in North Carolina. And Nuclear Herb said he knows somebody who raised 27 million for longevity research, but gets no support, no recognition, and that he's one of the most hated people on planet Earth, on this planet. And I'm saying to myself, well, yeah, that's very true. I agreed with that, but somebody went on the timeline and responded, and this was the realest response. He said, the person said, yeah, Richard should also acknowledge that it was the Hexicans that contributed the monies to raise up to 27 million. They should also be recognized as well, as far as like, if not individually, at least as a group, because he didn't get there by himself. Richard didn't get, this is my whole point. It's my whole point. It's my whole point. Even now, to this day, dude has a movie in his likeness. You got hours, thousands, and maybe hundreds of thousands of hours of content online. People have done conferences. People have done tours. People have done all kinds of events worldwide, international, global events. Selling merchandise, all kinds of different things. Marketing that other founders would absolutely pay big money for, that they don't have. And this guy has it, doesn't even know what he has. And he's acting like he wants to lose it. Doesn't even know what he has. Doesn't even know the invaluable support that he has, that he's shitting on. You're telling people about Bybit, you think everybody in your ecosystem that bought into PulseChain, you thinking everybody didn't get involved with middleman stuff, and Bybit, they involved with PulseChain. You the biggest middleman. So what are you talking about? Make it make sense, sir. Listen, folks, I'm out of here. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, your morning, your evening, your night, wherever you are. Stay strong, remain vigilant, and be well at all times. Peace.